recording. Look at all this. Your eagerness to get rid of Potomac.
Not eagerness, the season's over.
You're like, this horrible season of Potomac.
It was a good season of Potomac.
Was it a good season?
It's too crooked.
You're crooked. Don't worry. Don't. No one sees that fire up. Just leave it alone. Leave it. I just want to be done with recording this. I want to go lay on the couch.
So never have any water.
Good. This will be a quick one.
You're so done with it.
I'm done with it.
I'm not done with it. I'm going to extend it. I'm going to talk about everything. Get to the nitty gritty.
Walk off. Walk off like Mia. Welcome to another episode of Husband Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes, we did. I realized I see my introduction and I always adjust. I'm always pre-adjusting. I'm always I need to get in the chair.
You have a little podcast shimmy,
little shimmies.
It's also a nice reminder to suck in your gut.
Yeah, I gotta say that we gotta crop this more. Right?
We're gonna have to have a posture fixing.
White Lotus.
Yes, exactly.
Did it fix your posture, Lachlan?
Is that your Parker Posey or your Sutton?
That's my Parker. It's yeah.
I'm telling you, I think Parker Posey's doing a Sutton impression.
She's doing dude who plays father said he was inspired by one of the guys from Southern Charm.
Oh God,
yeah.
Anyone inspired by anyone from Southern Charm.
It's a very distinct accent, South Carolina.
Yes.
And it just sounds like she's about to fall asleep.
Well, she's on
Lachlan.
She's on a lot of Valium, so I'm sure that she is.
Anywho.
Yeah, let's get through this. I want to watch TV. No, I'm kidding.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
It is our 8-year dating anniversary.
I mean, this was originally our anniversary until we got married.
Right.
We don't mean to be that couple, but
No, we wanted to get married on our anniversary, which would work perfectly. It was a Saturday. But it was an outdoor wedding, and we were concerned about the weather. Mm-hmm. And, if it had been the weather how it is now, it would be so cold. Right.
What a miserable.
We would have had to have a heating lamp, so that's why we did.
Yeah.
Our wedding in June. I'm not getting the claim, but I just
But we still celebrate our dating anniversary because that's our real anniversary.
That's how long we've been together, which is 8 years. It's crazy that it's up to 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, I really want it to be longer so that I can say you're the longest relationship. That's really what it's about. I was like, can we hurry up and get to 10 so I can say that you are by far my longest relationship?
That's the Housewives can be for I have the longest lasting.
Right.
Kyle and Tamara, it's currently a deadlock for longest running out.
I want this to be the OG relationship of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I mean, I didn't marry anyone else.
It's true.
I didn't buy a house anyone else.
It's true. That's true. OG marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This episode was so filler. It was a very filler episode with all the other it's all the other crap tacked onto it. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of just rushed through it. I'd rather go down and enjoy the relaxation and the vibe that we have from our anniversary dinner and, just go down and just relax more than, dissect.
Well, no, we don't need to get all into it. I also, starting off, I'm not typically or always a fan of Kathy and her antics, but I really enjoyed the breast cancer screening, the monogram of Kyle.
Mammogram. Not the monogram.
Not the monorail.
Not the monorail either.
No.
Not the mononucleosis.
No.
The mammogram.
The mammogram. Just talking about their mother and also just the back and forth and Kathy was actually making sense of Kyle, he's single. Basically she was without saying it, she was get over it. But yeah, I understand how you're embarrassed,
I think I'm over the whole, okay. Especially, I've been holding back because of you, because you love Kyle so much.
Oh, no.
But
out there.
I'm not really going to let anything unleash anything. This whole idea that they're still together is an utter complete horse shit. I get that they're not truly divorced.
They're not.
But he moved out of their damn house. He moved out, the minute he moved out, he was ready to go try and do whatever else. So this whole idea that they're going to get back together, it's just.
But it happens. People get separated and they get divorced and then get married again. Hello, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton.
I think that's...
The second one didn't last very long,
I think that sort of thing is an exception.
Right. It's not the rule.
I think nothing is the rule. I just think that in general, like, to sit there and, like, I don't know. I'm not saying Kyle's, like, making a bigger deal out of it than anything. I think they're all making a bigger deal out of it. Like, even asking her, how do you feel about that? It's like, well,
yeah. I mean, it's a big deal because it's really hard to just clean break this. You know, when you, as we said last week, she has spent the majority of her life with this man, has four kids with this man.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's hard to literally separate, physically separate, financially separate. And the thought is that maybe this is all a big mistake. And, you know, we went through this whole thing last week.
Yeah.
So I get where she's coming from, you know, but as the one point I will agree with Sutton, Mauricio has moved on.
Right.
It's very unlikely he's going to come back once he has sown these oats. He might want to continue sowing these oats. I doubt he'll get remarried, you know, whatever. But for Kyle, it's like, there's a big what-if factor.
Yeah.
And she has to get over that, but she has to get over it in her own time. I don't understand this whole, what's it to you? If Kyle was calling Sutton on the regular and saying like, oh my gosh, is Mauricio going to come back to me? Should I take wife off my Instagram handle? Like, I don't know what to do. Then I would be like, girl, leave me alone. Divorce this dude. But she's not. She's going to her actual friends and talking about this whole thing. So I don't get why you were so amped about it, Garcelle, Sutton, Dorit. Like, it's just let Kyle be Kyle.
Sutton and Garcelle definitely need something.
A hobby, story.
Well, and Sutton had a bit of a hobby this episode. So
a bit of a hobby.
It's like, also, I don't know what like the actual filming sequence was of all this stuff, but yeah, you have bigger fish to fry than sit there and talk about Kyle and like.
No, because except for her mother, she doesn't have any personal story. So no, neither does Garcelle. Ooh, my son is a model. He's great. He did a great job. But like, that ain't a personal story, sister. So the two of them ain't got it going on compared to like Dorit, Kyle, and Beauvais.
Even Erika
with her house looks amazing.
It does.
I love her house. It's like my favorite house now. Well, Mexico.
No.
It's right up there with Kyle's for me. Because it's really, really beautifully decorated now, and it fits her so well. But yeah, that's the only thing she did this season. She decorated a house. Like, the whole thing with going back to Broadway happened after they stopped filming. Mm-hmm. So, you know. But yeah.
So as far as this episode goes, very fillery.
Right. And as I said, it's pre-trip. Post like that big wallet showdown, you know. Skipping out to Dorit and Garcelle. Like, Garcelle can say it like to Dorit, like, that was really mean, but she can't say it in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, come on, if someone said that to you, someone could say that to Garcelle. I think my wallet's bigger than yours.
Yeah.
And what would Garcelle say, you know, but because it happened to Dorit?
Well, and even at the time, Garcelle was like, now that's
said something.
Everyone at the time, like, that's not fair. That's not nice.
No one said anything at the time, like,
not directly to Sutton.
Not directly to Sutton.
Or to Dorit.
Right.
Yeah.
They just let that whole thing play out, and they could be like, that's really gross. Even like whatever the hell Faye Resnick was doing, said more than the rest of these ladies.
Right.
You know? So, but yeah, like, I think Dorit's right that Garcelle, that is her person. Sutton, that is her like confidant. That's her co-conspirator. You know, they're in the show together. I think they've always been that way since.
Well, they were brought on together.
Right. They were the same season. They started the same season. So they had to rely on one another because the other girls were in their little clique. And like, they have never left that, really. I mean, they, you know, whatever. Even to a certain extent, they're never going to be like super close with the other girls, you know? So they do it to themselves. Or the other girls just didn't like them that much, you know?
Maybe a little from college.
That's why I think they're also kind of bothered about Beauvais being so close to Dorit, because they're not like, oh, I'm bringing her on as my friend, says Ryan. Like, she will be in my camp, or more so, but like instantly she's like glomming onto Dorit, so she's not.
Also, just being longevity-wise, they would hope that she would fall more towards them as the newer bees.
Right, like we're all like newbies together, and those girls, you know, whatever, but yeah, but it's like she likes.
I can see that. Makes sense. I was so happy to see Beauvais wasn't wearing her tasseled earring.
Her tassel earring.
Finally had some other earrings on.
She really didn't do much. She had that like one scene with her daughter with 5 seconds.
And the tea.
And then like she was at the fashion show.
Yeah.
So, It's not like she's given so much.
Yeah.
Don't nobody boasts like everything, every episode. But yeah. What else happened before? Oh, Erika's mom came. That was cute. I would have loved for her mom to be Sutton's mom.
That would have been nice.
Yes.
But we got to hear all about how Sutton's mom couldn't make it because of the Delta shutdown.
Right. And 13 hours at the airport.
And that just means she's proud of her. That she clearly loves Sutton, that she sat in the airport for 13 hours.
She needs a lot of validation. She needs a hefty amount of validation from people. Her mom, her daughter,
her friends. Yeah. It was interesting what Garcelle said about, for Garcelle to bring that up, that like, Sutton just seeks a lot of validation, even from Christian, whatever thought, all that stuff. Like, that's the sort of thing that I think if any other housewife said about Sutton, and Sutton might still have problems at the reunion or something.
I think she'll be fine.
But she'll let it slide.
Again, they have that pact. They're not going to say crap to each other. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Which is not a realistic friendship, but whatever, that works for them.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
We're going to talk about Kathy thinking it was a good idea to go backstage and be like, you want Dorit to introduce the, like, what the hell was that?
What's that? Like, this, like, just like, do you want a narrator? Like, no, Kathy, I didn't think about that. That's a good idea. Let me get a last minute narrator.
Yeah.
To be like, I mean, that's the second thing I agreed with Sutton on, of like, it's not 1955 where you're like, and now here's Imogene and these green,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wearing she's the talk of the town. From afternoon to evening with a simple twist of the,
It's not the fashion show at the end of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Kathy's been to fashion shows. That's where it's like she had to been playing her little daughter character and like, I'll just be quirky.
Well, it's like Erika said, like, once again, like, Kathy steals focus.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, let me dot her back there. And then we like dot over. What's going on? Well, there's a model behind me. Oh,
I'm just talking to Erika's mother.
Yeah. And then they like flash like those gays are like losing their mind. Like, oh my God,
I feel like they kept showing the same gays, the same reaction. Yeah. They're like, oh, look at them. They're reacting.
They're like, oh my God, Kathy Hilton's happening right in front of me.
Kathy Hilton's such a friend of the gays.
Iconic. She would never pull us.
Never. We won't go there. She would never use a slur.
No.
Never, no, especially not in the mountains.
No, I believe Erika. No.
Always believe Erika.
Always do. Believe women.
Not Kathy. Yep.
Not Kathy Hilton. No.
I know.
What do you think about the fashions? The fashion show of sustainable fashions? Again,
I was a little confused as to whether or not Sutton actually designed all that stuff or whether she just curated it. It sounded
she worked with a partner and curated it, I don't say.
It sounded from what the other women were saying that she actually helped design that. That like those were her designs, like she helped direct the design.
You can direct the designs, but I'm not saying she has like a sketch pad.
No.
And like with her glasses on, like, these clear lines.
No. Same way Kyle had a fashion line.
Correct.
Someone, a partner to do that.
Correct.
But it's not like Melissa Gorga's, Envy fashion show that she got all that shit about.
Right. This is like her stuff at my store. Yeah, I understand it's stuff at her store, but she probably, definitely played a part in it and making it all sustainable materials. And...
I don't know. I think that some of that was more than just stuff at her store.
Right, I think yeah.
But some of that stuff, whether it was designed by her or stuff at her store, was a little plain Jane.
A little bit.
I know it's supposed to be a capsule collection, so it's supposed to be like all the, pieces that you would need that, all work together. But some of it was just like, oh, great. You like when Aaron was like, he had also just kind of looked like he worked at the hotel they were having that at.
I think he did.
Like he just walked down from like the maintenance department.
Well, dude, yeah, like lifeguards at a Beverly Hills hotel are probably like wannabe actors. Yeah. So I'm sure he was like, we're models. So he's like, I'm available.
Yeah. It struck me as what's his face from White Lotus, who was in the Dead Boy Detectives, the blonde.
Oh, Lucas Cage.
Yeah, it kind of he struck me with that kind of vibe. It was like, well, whatever, I'm just walking here.
Yeah, that's like, here I am. They needed, they gave him some chicken fingers. And...
I thought it was cool that the first model kind of pushed Kathy aside, which makes me wonder if that was planned. But either way, hats off to that model to be like, I'm moving this woman out of my way.
No, it wasn't planned because Sutton looked really pissed, but she couldn't be pissed because she had to focus on, I need to send these models now. But she was just like, what is Kathy doing back here? And I'm sure when she watched it all play out, she's like, she made it her own fashion show. I'm sure that was in the blogs or whatever, kudos to her that she had like Vogue there and Women's Wear Daily, and it wasn't like this like fake fashion show.
Yeah, it wasn't like
it wasn't like amazing fashions. I loved Tilly's sweater dress that she wore. That was great.
Yeah,
but yeah, for being honest, I liked Envy's stuff. I like Envy's stuff better in general.
Yeah, I mean there were some good pieces, but I don't think it was like didn't blow me away. Also, it was even though so stupid I am. Even though I knew Jade was walking in it, I didn't expect it to be men's fashions.
I didn't either.
I didn't connect it like, oh, it's going to be men and women's fashions. Like
I didn't either until
the other guy came out. I was like, oh.
There were like 3 guys, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, the boy, the dude with the shirt open, and Jade.
It wasn't until the dude with the shirt open that I... Right, because I was like, oh, okay, men's fashion.
Or shorts.
Yeah. The other thing, and if I walked in a fashion show, I would walk worse than Ramona, I'm pretty sure. And it would probably be like, no, I would be that bad. But I don't think Jade had that great of a walk. I feel like it was a little chummy. That wasn't cliche. Like, I don't know. It felt like he was kind of like stumbling a little bit.
They said this up on YouTube. So.
What's that?
It's just like Garcelle asked how he knew how to walk, and he's like, I watch YouTube.
Oh.
That's how he learns.
Okay. I mean, learn like the rest of us. Watch America's Next Top Model, okay? That's how I would learn to do it.
Like anybody else, yes.
Yeah, no, it's, good, happy for him. You remarked that Garcelle's first fashion show was in 1984, which was at the time of filming 40 years ago before this.
Yes.
So I'm glad they gave us that picture. She looked good.
Yeah, like I think she looked really good this episode.
Oh, they all looked great.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm like in like her confessional with the yellow dress. I think when she went with Dorit, and at the fashion show, like across, and when she went to Sutton's, like Garcelle's fashion has really stepped up this season. You're doing it.
I agree.
You're winning with this look.
She is.
Yeah, like she had a little purse at her arm, and I was
a little underwhelmed by Kyle's suit jacket look at the fashion show, but
it feels like she's done this hair and this outfit before.
I like that when she walked in, she's like, I'm not talking to the press.
Yeah.
So I'll give her the pass on that she's just like, I'm over all of this today.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Not today.
Give me some non-alcoholic beer and I'll be fine.
And a stein. And like, I was like, what? They couldn't give you a nice beer glass?
No, probably because the pool, they had to keep the plastic.
Oh.
So that's what they had for beer.
I like something like, this drink isn't helping. Well.
And then the earlier part, it's 5 o'clock. It's after 5 o'clock.
I need to drink. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I feel, that's why I think it was filler episode. Like nothing really stuck this episode. Like enough for me to in my memory for me to think of oh, let's talk about that later. Like the obvious things were the obvious things. I feel like they were trying to, Sutton was trying really hard to be catty about the whole Mo thing. And she and, Garcelle were trying to but even that was weak. I think even Garcelle and Dorit trying to talk about it. Dorit was didn't have an opinion about it now. It was almost very middle of the road.
She wasn't being, snarky. She's just like, Kyle, come on. Dude's moved on. Saying this to Garcelle.
Yeah. But holy hell, if someone said to Dorit that PK's moved on.
Right.
She'd lose her effing shit.
Oh, for sure. I thought saying, it was filler, even Dorit couldn't say anything else. I'm just okay.
Yeah.
No major, things have happened with PK. Just doing okay. As well as I can. Going back to before I forget, I agree with Kyle that the chick that Mauricio was with probably called the paparazzi.
Yeah.
And I like that Kathy pointed out, he's not Brad Pitt.
And then even Kyle used it again later in her confessional.
Yeah.
Like, he's not Brad Pitt.
I love that, like, Sutton said, like, well, Jennifer Aniston was there, there's no paparazzi, and then the Brad Pitt reference. I'm like, yeah.
I thought it was interesting how quickly another blog picked up on her. And I remember when that happened, I thought her word wife.
Don't remember that, yeah.
Remember, because I just thought, one, who has the time to spend, like, checking everyone's bios? Like,
the same people who check to see if someone's following somebody.
It's such a weird thing. Like, is it
that's like, must be like your reminder pops up on your phone, like, check Housewives following. Which takes a while, too, because you got to type in.
It could just be something like, I don't know, if you already have a spreadsheet going, you just check them periodically and it's just easy. You go through and da-da-da-da-da. But still, that's a weird spreadsheet to have.
It feels like people know automatically when someone updates their bio or when they unfriend or unfollow somebody. It's like they're just on it. I don't really look at those bios very often, so I didn't notice it. I thought it was interesting, like, when she's like, I know what I'm going to do. And I was like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And then she's like, take wife off of my bio. And I was like, you go, girl. I mean, what am I supposed to say to that?
I know. It also seems like such a weird thing. Like, it's
either that or chop bangs.
Yeah. Or bleach my hair.
Right.
Get a boob job. No. It's interesting. I mean, I get why she says she noticed he took father and husband off of his.
Right.
So, like, I'm sure, like, if we went through a breakup or something, I would be, like, very hyper aware of the changes you made to your profile. But at the same time,
in my bio.
Oh, nothing at all.
No,
I don't know if I have a name.
Because why would we need a bio? We're
husbands, podcasters.
Well, we have it in our bio for our husbands' Instagram. I don't have anything
in our personal.
No.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
I mean, why would I? I would.
You don't have to link your OnlyFans in there or something?
To my feet thing?
Where's all the money you're getting from that feet thing? Why aren't
maybe we could throw a feet thing. I mean, my feet don't look great.
I was told during a hookup once that I'd
nice feet. What do you mean he told you don't have nice feet?
I think he was kind of into feet, and he and I was like, he's like, how are your feet? I'm like, your feet? Like, I don't know. Like, as someone who's not into feet, like, I don't know, I have feet. And so I think he was hoping they'd be really nice.
And what did he say? Like, he said verbatim, they're not nice feet.
No, and he asked me to put on socks. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Stop it.
Yeah.
He did not.
He did. He was one of the only guys that was older than me that I picked up. Remember, it was a weekday as well. So
what did he do? It was so boring.
It was like a Thursday afternoon. He was like down off Van Ness, like near Opera Plaza. It was interesting.
In that building, we looked at
no, it wasn't that same building. Okay. It was behind it a little bit. But but yeah, I think about that all the time. It was a very awkward hookup. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It sticks with me all these years later.
Apparently, you had me. He asked me with sorry.
But yeah. Anyway, if you do have OnlyFans with your feet on it, make some money. Let's drop that in our joint account. Let's go on some vacations. Come on, we'll pay for BravoCon this year.
Right. Is what it is.
There's a market for everything too. I mean, there's someone out there who wants to see.
Right. It would just be. I can't imagine we would get much. And you have to I feel like you'd have to
promote it.
Promoters, yeah.
We do a horrible job promoting this.
I know. I love when someone actually likes an Instagram photo because we get so few.
Maybe if we just put our feet out there.
Oh my gosh. I can't even. Again, I don't have good feet. I've never had a pedicure. Side note.
Oh, I've only had pedicure. I never had manicures.
I never had manicure or pedicure.
Well, you don't like being touched.
True.
So pedicure, you don't even like foot rubs. So I don't think you can do that either.
I mean, I just he wants them to clip my. I don't think I have bunions. No, I don't.
I don't know. You don't have bunions.
No,
you're not Ashley Darby.
Yeah, it's one clip the toenails and make them look presentable and sand down some sun.
Sand down.
They're a little rough. They're rough, and the skin's coming. Yeah. I'm not gonna get to it. Sorry,
sorry. Yes. I used to purposely, when we lived in the city, I would purposely not clip my toenails, so I could go down and have a pedicure, have it worth my while,
so you could hang from the ceilings. I mean,
yes, I had to get my back toes ready. No, it was so that basically I could get the whole 9 yards. I wouldn't want to do my own toenails. Go down there and just then spend $40 or $50 just so they can wax my feet. No.
Well, it's like cleaning your house over the housekeeper comes.
Yeah, I don't do that. I know you probably would do that.
I would not do that. I would love for a housekeeper to come in here and just go. Like, I don't know.
I need to get another housekeeper.
I mean...
So here's the problem, is that when we paid for one, I know she was overcharging us.
Yeah.
They did a great job. I don't deny that.
Yeah.
But also, when you have them come once a month and you pay a lot for it, they come too often. It's like, I don't need like a full cleaning every month. I just need make everything look like it was kind of clean.
I feel like you need a full cleaning like once a month.
No, because they would mop and they would sweep and they'd do the walls, they'd clean the fridge, they would do all that stuff every month. And it's like, by the time they come the next month, you're like, weren't you just here? Like, all that stuff doesn't need to be cleaned again.
I feel like it would, you don't need to take everything out of the fridge and do all that. But I think giving the floors a nice clean, again, this is like fascinating. Sorry.
They like move the couch and the table and do the whole thing. Like, what my whole thing is like, I think there needs to be a rotation. Like, this month do this, do the bathrooms, great. But this month do the floors, this next month do the walls, the next month do the windows. Like, I don't need it done every time, all the time.
I think you need everything done. It's like this, when we had friends over for the Oscars and you're like, we're cleaning everywhere. And you're like, why are you doing our bathroom? I'm like, one friend will probably want to use our bathroom.
He did not. For the note, he did not.
He didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. Yeah. But then two, it's like, if I'm cleaning everything else, I'm not going to not clean our bathroom. It's like, let's do everything in one fell swoop, you know?
All I know is I felt like once a month having them come by and like do everything from stem to stern was just too much. Like, I don't need it every month from stem to stern, especially if it means like, I'd rather have you come once a month and do like a rotation of things for like $150 than come every month and spend $300 to do it all. Like, I'd rather like spend.
What is like everything like every other month? Would
that would be fine. I'd be good with that.
In the meantime, we just do it.
Well, no, like they come every month, but like they just come
every other. I'm saying like you say they come February, nothing March. They come in April. We would still have to clean the house in March.
Maybe I just need a good 2 month sprucing. That's what I'm looking for.
But then in the meantime, then we do it.
But what I'm realistically saying, and this is why, how are we on this tangent? What I'm realistically saying is that like, I don't need you to clean my baseboards every month.
Mm-hmm.
Clean my baseboards every 2 to 3 months. And like spend that other time, instead of like charging me an extra $100 to clean my baseboards, just clean other things that just need to be cleaned. I don't need.
How filthy are these baseboards?
I mean, they get filthy, they get dusty. We have crown molding and stuff, so they get press. We have cats. Yeah. But anyway, neither here nor there. That's why we haven't gotten a new house cleaning service, because I just haven't figured out the right.
Well, we have other stuff going on that we need to like put
that's true.
Towards.
That's true.
So that's like least of the worst. Like,
yeah.
Back to Beverly Hills.
No, I want to talk more about housekeeping. God damn it.
We've got some housekeeping to do.
Yeah. Beverly Hills. I wonder how
our sole pictures on the board until we get a light going.
The line doesn't go right over here because that's all we're gonna have.
Yeah.
And then this is going to be gone soon.
I know. They filmed the reunion. We haven't talked about that.
We haven't seen looks, have we?
No, that won't happen until a few weeks before. The seating chart makes sense. It goes against what I chose. I only got 2 right, Dorit and Kyle, but it totally makes sense.
But they're on the... Oh, but she's over on her couch, and
these two are flipped, and these.
Oh yeah, but it's still the same right couches.
Right, the couches are right, although these two are flipped too. Kathy's on the side, but it totally makes sense why Erika and Garcelle would be at the end, because they had lost her story, and you put Bose, who had so much, even though she's a newbie, you know, she still jumped over Erika. It totally makes sense, and then of course Sutton couldn't be first seat. Again, people just like lose their minds on Kyle having first seat. I'm like, get over it. It's freaking Kyle.
If everyone can support Teresa having first seat for her entire then you know, come on,
come on. But even like Teresa like wasn't first seat like one seat, her very first seat then.
Yeah.
And then you know Kyle hasn't had first seat like 2 different reunions. So it's just dumb. It's like just stop eating hell. Like get a hobby.
Is that the name of this episode? Get a hobby?
No, we're gonna call it Sutton's Pride Parade.
Oh yeah,
or Sutton Pride Month.
Yeah, something like that. Sutton just really needs people to be proud of her.
And now we're full circle.
We need to watch What Happens Live. I want to hear if there's any more catty responses from Andy about Sutton's lame excuse for her.
Sometimes, so she's on What Happens Live. If you haven't watched it, if you're not going to watch it, whatever. And she gets asked about the whole wallet comment, and she's like, I was angry. And, sometimes you're angry, you say things, and, you just don't mean because you're angry. And Andy's like, I'm familiar with this trope.
Yeah. Like, tell me another one I haven't heard already.
Shocker.
So shocking.
Yeah.
So,
overall, looking forward to the trip next week.
Yeah, I think
I thought they were going to announce it this week, like at the fashion show, like, hey, everybody, we can get away to St. Lucia.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
I think after all the drama of the other series that are no longer on this board, like even Potomac has had more drama than I think we've had in Beverly Hills this season.
Right. At least, Dolores was saying this, like they focus on one issue.
Right.
And they just drag it out. And I think we finally got off the text messaging, and now we're like onto the wallet. And they went from like Kyle and Dorit to now Dorit and Sutton. So I think that's been a little bit better. I don't think this is like the one big filler episode.
Yeah.
Everything else has been good.
It's also been fairly decent.
Yeah, it's been a good season.
I think my whole issue is that like I'm not as shook by PK and Dorit's separation and Kyle and Mauricio's separation.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that like it warrants conversation after conversation after conversation.
I was shook when it happened.
Right.
More so Kyle and Mauricio, but I moved on because that was 2 years ago.
Well, I mean, I know that they're living in it and everything, but like, this is the time that all going on. But it's at the same time, it's like, I don't know, like, they're not talking enough about how it makes them feel in any real honesty that like
Kyle did less.
Kyle has, but like, I don't think she's talking about it with each other. Like, I don't know, like I would.
Like with Mauricio?
No, I think what I'm saying is that like, I would expect, I kind of want like Sicilian, like screaming, crying in tears, like throw herself on the coffin sort of like drama for me to really be interested. And it's not fair of me to say.
Yeah,
but
it's not going to happen either.
No.
I think, if that conversation that Kyle had with her therapist had happened with Dorit.
That's what I think I'm also looking for.
Or Erika, it would have been more meaningful.
Right. Like,
I feel though, like with the therapist, he shut up more, whereas the other women would have been like, well done.
Right.
It's like, just let her get it out.
Right.
I feel like that's why it happened with the therapist, because his job is to purely listen and interject a bit and not come with his own preconceived notions of like what she should or should not be doing.
Right.
And she was just able to be like, this is how I feel and I'm not being judged. And if I am going to be judged, I'm paying for it. I'm not getting it from you broads who are just like saying it willy-nilly. I didn't ask for it.
Well, I think also if it wasn't Garcelle and Sutton having their own little, peanut gallery conversation about it over here, away from Kyle, like if they were all in the same room and like Kyle, and that's fine, that's not the way that Kyle or Dorit is choosing to go through this. It's fine, absolutely fine. But like, if it was Kyle, like with the women talking about how it made her feel and all this stuff, and I just, and she was crying, like if it was, they went on a hike and Kyle had mascara running down her cheek or something, I'd be like, okay, I'd be a little more interested. But clearly it's something that Kyle doesn't want to talk about with the women. It's something Dorit won't talk about, that sort of thing, other than PK's an alcoholic.
Right.
It's like, they're clearly not wanting to do it. So I'm not interested in hearing the details,
Right. It's just they don't feel comfortable with this group of women, like, getting really into the nitty-gritty of it all.
And so therefore, I'd rather hear about Jennifer Tilly and her, walking in fashion shows.
I'm a celebrity.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd rather, hear about, that's what makes it more interesting to hear about Bose's, pregnancy journey and, what her plans are with, what's his name?
Keely.
Yeah, because it's actually something she's interested in talking about, whereas, you can tell Kyle doesn't want to talk about it. You can tell that Dorit doesn't want to talk about it. Erika loves talking about her redesign and,
yes.
new livery. Like, that's more interesting to me than having them milk this, trauma from a stone.
The trauma stone. You don't think Dorit really wants to, like, talk about it? Because she's been so forthright. You think there's still a lot that she's holding back?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Like it's very, very surfacey, like the things that like
it's her bullet points.
Yes, and it's not. And I don't know. Like I'm no therapist, but like she's not getting deep into like how this is making her feel or like what her insecurities about the whole process are, and like it's very evident that she's reacting a certain way. But
it's always like, I'm spinning. She'll throw like a word salad, and it won't really have a lot of depth to it. You're right. So there was like a lot of talking from Dorit, but there's like little moments, and you're like, oh, but that's it. It's not like she doesn't get deep.
Yeah, I think you just described how every other housewife describes Dorit in every season.
What?
A lot of word salad, but she never quite gets anywhere.
Right.
So.
It is.
But again, it's completely unreasonable for me to as a fan, I guess I can say I wish they were getting deeper, and I wish I was seeing a little bit more of their genuine, reactions to these sorts of things. But yeah, it's definitely, armor is definitely up with Kyle, and armor is definitely up with Dorit.
Yeah.
Like where they're not showing as much sensitivity as I think we've seen from other franchises and other housewives going through similar things. And like it's show not tell, and they're telling. Like Dorit's saying, "Oh my God, I'm so devastated," but you don't see her being devastated.
Right.
So
they're like, "Oh, my house is so messy. I'm so overwhelmed."
That was funny. Sorry, the Dorit being genuine, like when Garcelle was like, if she gave you that purse, it's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'd be best friends right now."
In the area, I'd be like, all is good. Thank you for this like thousands of dollars worth of bag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that sort of thing, like, Dorit lit up. Like you could tell, like, oh, okay, genuinely, like, oh, that was funny. But yeah, it's the whole show not tell. And
that's a good line. That's a good point.
But who am I? I'm just the
husband watching out.
The husband watching. Look at you. Bringing it all full circle.
That's what I do.
All right.
Well, yeah, this was our anniversary episode.
Oh, that's we podcast on our anniversary.
Oh,
we should figure out when our wedding anniversary is and see if we'll be podcasting that day.
Oh, it's so far. I don't I was
3 months from now.
No. But I was thinking to myself, like, what shows are going to be on at that point?
I don't know. Well, what we're gonna have to find out. We're gonna find out next time.
Well, next time.
Sorry.